70s.
Ah, das war dabei.
Toll. Ah, we had something else.
I am Earth. You walk on my surface. You extract treasures from within me. Here, in my depths of the Earth, from hundreds of millions of years ago, magma is bubbling, bursting with life. Follow me to that era. also coveted the copper. They needed it to make hardware and weapons. They decorated their pharaonic palaces and temples with copper vessels. The metallic luster conveyed the sense of sanctity. Its beauty, power, and flexibility made copper a material through which you express spirit. The copper adorned and gave splendor to the houses of worship and was used in many ancient rituals. The copper-producing region of the land has undergone many hands. When the expeditions from Egypt stopped arriving, you, the people of the desert, continued to mine and extract the copper. In the vastness of the desert, the kingdom of Edom arises. And you, here with the copper from Timnah, become part of it and a source of its wealth. And when King David conquered Edom,
1 Kings
his
chapter
son
7.
Solomon inherits his source of copper, as it is written, and King Solomon sent and fetched Hiram of Tyre, a coppersmith, and he was filled with the wisdom and understanding and skill to work all works in copper. And all these vessels in the house of the Lord, which Hiram made for King Solomon, were of bright copper. In the plain of the Jordan did the king cast them, and in the thick clay between Sukkot and Zarethan, the copper was used to build Solomon's temple and to adorn the tabernacle, which was the first permanent home for the worship of God. The glorious temple was a home to the one God, for in the time and location in which you developed the practice of copper, the belief in one God without a form rising from the desert also developed. As written in the Holy Bible, the Lord came from Sinai and dawned from Seir upon us. Even the great leader Moses, while leading the children of Israel in the wilderness on the way to the promised land, is commanded by God as narrated in the Bible. Moses set up the Mishkan. He spread the tent over the Mishkan, and he placed the cover of the tent over it from above. And later on, and the Lord said to Moses, make a fiery serpent and set it on a pole. And Moses made a copper snake. Judaism, Christianity, Islam emerged here. Religions that shaped the world spiritually, culturally, and politically.